That fanfare heralded the arrival of the special guest of honor for this auspicious occasion, the Chief of Defence Staff, General C.G. Musa, ably represented by the Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, Major General J.O. Ochai.
Bro. Please be seated.
The Chief of Defence Staff, General C.G. Musa, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, ably represented here by the Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, Major General J.O. Ochai, the President for 2 regular calls, Major Oil Anyanya, retired, Commandant of Trade Service and other training institutions, co-commanders here present, Principal Staff Officers from Defence and Services Headquarters here present, Deputy Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, Academy Provost, Principal Staff Officers of Nigerian Defence Academy, Senior Officers, both serving or retired, Executive and members of Ottawa Regular Corps present, members of Defence, Police, Officers Wife Association here present, officers and civilian staff of Nigerian Defence Academy, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to this momentous occasion, the commissioning of the Nigerian Defence Academy 41 Regular Corps Legacy Project here at the headquarters Nigerian Defence Academy, Afaka, Kaduna State. This afternoon, we have gathered to celebrate the culmination of vision dream that has been years in the making. The 41 Regular Corps of the Nigerian Defence Academy has left an indelible mark on this prestigious Nigerian Defence Academy. And now, again, through this legacy project, the course will continue to inspire generations to come. To begin our program, it is my distinct privilege to invite the chairman of the 41 Regular Corps Reunion Planning Committee, who doubles as the vice chairman of the 41 Regular Corps, Air Vice Marshal A.B. Ndachi, to please deliver the welcome address. The chairman, the planning committee, sir.
Special guest of honor for today's occasion, the Chief of Defence Staff, General Christopher Wabi Musa, who are ably represented by the Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, Major General J.O. Ochai, representatives of the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, and the Chief of the Air Staff. Permit me to stand on the already established protocol. It is with gratitude to God that my classmates and I are here this morning on this occasion to celebrate our entry into the prestigious institution, the Nigerian Defence Academy. We entered this prestigious institution exactly 35 years ago. On this day, some 35 years back, precisely the 17th of September 1989, our course, the 41st Regular Course, began its sojourn into the Nigerian military. We stand here as a cause to acknowledge the faithfulness of God in keeping us and seeing us through thick and thin from the very start of this wonderful adventure on the 17th of September 1989. We do not take for granted how blessed we have been to be counted among those who have contributed to the service of our dear nation in various capacities spanning over 3 decades. It is therefore our honor to warmly welcome you all to this momentous occasion of our 35th anniversary. To commemorate an auspicious event like this, we reflect on our journey so far. After careful and detailed deliberation as a cause, we thought it wise that our classmates who have fallen along the line of duty be remembered. It is worth mentioning that our course had its first casualties in our first year in the Defence Academy when we lost 11 of our naval classmates in a boat mishap during a training exercise at the Nigerian Naval College, Onne, Rivers State. This boat has been salvaged and refurbished to stand as a tribute in memory of our brothers. On this journey, we have also lost seasoned aviators and soldiers who boldly looked at death and accepted the call. This memorial park is in honor of the 41 members of the 41st regular course who have at diverse times paid the supreme price to keep the nation's flag flying. Of significance, this memorial park is located around the exact spot where late Air Commodore A.J. Ochai crashed in a Nigerian Air Force training aircraft in year 2017. This memorial park symbolizes our unwavering commitment to remembering those who have served, sacrificed, and paid the ultimate price. I would also like to take a moment to reflect on the sacrifices made, not just by us, but by our families and loved ones. The sleepless nights, the long deployments, and the missed milestones, they are testament to the invaluable sacrifices that have been made. To our spouses, parents, children, and loved ones, whose strength and support have made our service possible, we say thank you. We must also salute our instructors and seniors who have tutored and mentored us along this path of greatness. As we commission this memorial park today, we hope that it will serve as a beacon of hope and a symbol of peace, reminding us not only of the battles we have fought, but of the unity we have forged. And let it always remind us that no matter how many years that have rolled by, we will never forget the sacrifices made in the line of duty, honor, and country. It is also hoped that the park will continuously remind cadets at the Academy of the seriousness and inherent dangers of the rigors training program here at the Nigerian Defence Academy. We therefore believe that the Memorial Park will serve as a legacy that promotes courage, diligence, resilience, and devotion. I must especially thank the Chief of Defence Staff and the service chiefs as they stand proud of our cause among those that received us into the system some 35 years ago. May the Almighty continue to keep us all in health and wealth in the service of humanity. Thank you and God bless.
May we please once again appreciate the chairman of the Reunion Organizing Committee, Air Vice Marshal Ngachi. Thank you very much, sir, for those inspiring words. We now move to the next segment of our program, where we will hear a brief on the project from the President for Toa Regular Course alumni in the person of Major O.L. Anyanya retired, the alumni president, sir. May we please appreciate the alumni president as he walked to the stage.
The special guest of honor, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, Officer of the Federal Republic, Chief of Defence Staff, Federal Republic of Nigeria, very ably represented by Major General John Ochai, Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy. The service chiefs very ably represented here. Let me acknowledge in a special way, representing 38 regular course, the President and members of 38 regular course, who, by the way, are having their 38 course at 38 reunion this weekend as well. Air Vice Marshal Kurotimi Kichna Obilake, my roommate. Let me also specially acknowledge and welcome a very special guest, our mother, the mother of our brother, Air Commodore Adanoke Bredochai. Mama, we welcome you very, very specially. And we are particularly delighted that you found time to push through pain of having just gone through a dental procedure to be here with us. Your presence here means a lot to all of us. Thank you very much. Let me welcome the President and members of 41 Regular Course Spouses Association, the Rubies. We welcome you very specially and thank you immensely for your support. That being said, permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize another very special group that may not be here, but for whose consideration we thought this project was the right thing to do. I recognize the Deputy Commandant, outgoing Deputy Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, Air Vice Marshal S.K. Aneke, members of the Academy staff, cadets, and all members of the Nigerian Defence Academy community. My remarks and brief will be very much abridged because quite much of what I would have said in my notes have been touched on by our indefatigable Vice President and Chairman, Central Planning Committee. But suffice it to say that it was exactly 35 years ago that members of our Special Regular Course reported to the Nigerian Defence Academy, albeit at the old site in Ribadu Cantonment, to commence our shared journey of service to country and humanity. Today, 35 years later, we gather here on the grounds of the NDA, where our journey together began, for a landmark reunion. It is for us, our spouses and children, a time to return, to remember, to reflect, to reminisce, to recall memories, the pleasant and not too pleasant, culminating to a crescendo of gratitude to Almighty God in thanksgiving for His faithfulness and manifold mercies. The aggregate of our individual and collective experiences across different spectrums of humanity is our story today. A significant part of that story, however, remains with some of our brothers who are not here physically with us because they have paid the supreme price in the course of service in various theaters of operations and transited in varying circumstances. We remember them today, as always, with recollections of the fond memories of the time we shared together on this side of life. As of today, 41 members of 41st Regular Course have passed on. And I thought that was very significant. I therefore respectfully ask that we pause, rise, and observe a moment of silence of 41 seconds in honor of these 41 gentlemen, officer cadets, officers, and other members of 41st Regular Course. Please, shall we rise? May their memories always be held in honor. Thank you very much. Please, you may be seated. This plaque that we gather here to commission today represents a part of our commitment to honor their sacrificial service, as well as the continued
Special guest of honor for today's occasion, the Chief of Defence Staff, General Christopher Gwabi Musa, who are ably represented by the Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, Major General J.O. Ochai, representatives of the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, and the Chief of the Air Staff. Permit me to stand on the already established protocol. It is with gratitude to God that my classmates and I are here this morning on this occasion to celebrate our entry into the prestigious institution, the Nigerian Defence Academy. We entered this prestigious institution exactly 35 years ago. On this day, some 35 years back, precisely the 17th of September 1989, our course, the 41st regular course, began its sojourn into the Nigerian military. We stand here as a course to acknowledge the faithfulness of God in keeping us and seeing us through thick and thin from the very start of this wonderful adventure on the 17th of September 1989. We do not take for granted how blessed we have been to be counted among those who have contributed to the service of our dear nation in various capacities spanning over 3 decades. It is therefore our honor to warmly welcome you all to this momentous occasion of our 35th anniversary. To commemorate an auspicious event like this, we reflect on our journey so far. After careful and detailed deliberation as a cause, we thought it wise that our classmates who are falling along the line of duty be remembered. It is worth mentioning that our course had its first casualties in our first year in the Defence Academy when we lost 11 of our naval classmates in a boat mishap during a training exercise at the Nigerian Naval College, Onne, River State. This boat has been salvaged and refurbished to stand as a tribute in memory of our brothers. On this journey, we have also lost seasoned aviators and soldiers who boldly looked at death and accepted the call. This memorial park is in honor of the 41 members of the 41st regular course who have at diverse times paid the supreme price to keep the nation's flag flying. Of significance, this memorial park is located around the exact spot where late Air Commodore A.J. Ochai crashed in a Nigerian Air Force training aircraft in year 2017. This memorial park symbolizes our unwavering commitment to remembering those who have served, sacrificed, and paid the ultimate price. I would also like to take a moment to reflect on the sacrifices made, not just by us, but by our families and loved ones. The sleepless nights, the long deployments, and the missed milestones, they are testament to the invaluable sacrifices that have been made. To our spouses, parents, children, and loved ones, whose strength and support have made our service possible, we say thank you. We must also salute our instructors and seniors who have tutored and mentored us along this path of greatness. As we commission this memorial park today, we hope that it will serve as a beacon of hope and a symbol of peace, reminding us not only of the battles we have fought, but of the unity we have forged. And let it always remind us that no matter how many years that have rolled by, we will never forget the sacrifices made in the line of duty, honor, and country. It is also hoped that the park will continuously remind cadets at the Academy of the seriousness and inherent dangers of the rigors training program here at the Nigerian Defence Academy. We therefore believe that the Memorial Park will serve as a legacy that promotes courage, diligence, resilience, and devotion. I must especially thank the Chief of Defence Staff and the service chiefs as they stand proud of our cause among those that received us into the system some 35 years ago. May the Almighty continue to keep us all in health and wealth in the service of humanity. Thank you and God bless.
May we please once again appreciate the chairman of the Reunion Organizing Committee, Air Vice Marshal Ngachi. Thank you very much, sir, for those inspiring words. We now move to the next segment of our program, where we will hear a brief on the project from the President for Toa Regular Course alumni in the person of Major O.L. Anyanya retired, the alumni president, sir. May we please appreciate the alumni president as he walked to the stage.
The special guest of honor, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, Officer of the Federal Republic, Chief of Defence Staff, Federal Republic of Nigeria, very ably represented by Major General John Ochai, Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy. The service chiefs, very ably represented here. Let me acknowledge in a special way, representing 38 regular course, the president and members of 38 regular course, who, by the way, are having their 38 course at 38 reunion this weekend as well. Air Vice Marshal Kurotimi Kichna Obidake, my roommate. Let me also specially acknowledge and welcome a very special guest, our mother, the mother of our brother, Air Commodore Adanoke Bregochai. Mama, we welcome you very, very specially. And we are particularly delighted that you found time to push through pain of having just gone through a dental procedure to be here with us. Your presence here means a lot to all of us. Thank you very much. Let me welcome the President and members of 41 Regular Course Spouses Association, the Rubies. We welcome you very specially and thank you immensely for your support. That being said, permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize another very special group that may not be here, but for whose consideration we thought this project was the right thing to do. I recognize the Deputy Commandant, outgoing Deputy Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, Air Vice Marshal S.K. Aneke, members of the Academy staff, cadets, and all members of the Nigerian Defence Academy community. My remarks and brief will be very much abridged because quite much of what I would have said in my notes have been touched on by our indefatigable Vice President and Chairman, Central Planning Committee. But suffice it to say that it was exactly 35 years ago that members of a special regular course reported to the Nigerian Defence Academy albeit at the old site in Ribadu Cantonment, to commence our shared journey of service to country and humanity. Today, 35 years later, we gather here on the grounds of the NDA, where our journey together began, for a landmark reunion. It is for us, our spouses and children, a time to return, to remember, to reflect, to reminisce, to recall memories, the pleasant and not too pleasant, culminating to a crescendo of gratitude to Almighty God in thanksgiving for His faithfulness and manifold mercies. The aggregate of our individual and collective experiences across different spectrums of humanity is our story today. A significant part of that story, however, remains with some of our brothers who are not here physically with us because they have paid the supreme price in the course of service in various theaters of operations and transited in varying circumstances. We remember them today, as always, with recollections of the fond memories of the time we shared together on this side of life. As of today, 41 members of 41st Regular Course have passed on. And I thought that was very significant. I therefore respectfully ask that we pause, rise, and observe a moment of silence of 41 seconds in honor of these 41 gentlemen, officer cadets, officers, and other members of 41st Regular Course. Please, shall we rise? May their memories always be held in honor. Thank you very much. Please, you may be seated. This plaque that we gather here to commission today represents a part of our commitment to honor their sacrificial service as well as the continuing service.
Is very dear to the heart of the Nigerian Defence Academy. And it's something that we'll remember for a very long time. And it will register in the minds of the cadets who are present here today. And it will be a story they will tell. Though a negative history, but on that fateful day when we lost 11 members of 41 Regular Corps, has been the biggest, largest single loss of cadets in the history of the Nigerian Defence Academy. And we pray to Almighty God that it never happens again. Amen. And for those who died while in service, most of them on active service, the venue of this park and today's event is the exact spot that Gabriel Adanwachai crashed his plane. And he was in a training mission to motivate cadets who were already passing out. As the CEO of the primary flying wing, he was also making history that for a very long time cadets never graduated from that institution with wings. And that was the very first time it was going to happen. And on a flight mission to further motivate them, just flying over the academy space, something happened. And he made effort. For those who were on the ground, he made effort to land on this field. But unfortunately, his landing gears that were down there hit this coulter. And he never made it beyond just the aircraft spewing across at the exact space where this memorial garden is being commissioned today. So that is the uniqueness of this location, and that uniqueness will remain for a very long time, in that it will remind cadets of the risk their training entails and the risk the profession in which they have chosen is associated with. 11 colleagues died at sea, others died through plane crash in the air, while some others died in the field of battle. So for the cadets, I want to assure you that this profession you've chosen is a very noble one, and the society, the armed forces, and the country will never forget your service to the armed forces of Nigeria and the nation at large. Your memory will always be remembered, and this is just the beginning. I must acknowledge the novel idea that led to this event this afternoon of 41 regular course. For there is nothing as good as keeping the memory of our loved ones alive. There is no better legacy that you can leave behind by making sure and showing their families and society that the sacrifices they made was never in vain, and their memories will continue to be remembered. I'll still give a speech on behalf of the special guest of honor, which will also include a lot of other issues that I want to discuss. So I won't want to repeat myself. But for this project, I want to assure members of 41 regular course that this one you see here today is just the tip of the iceberg. What you are going to see in the entire field in the coming years is a well laid out park on so many hectares of land. And this memorial space is going to include a tree that will be planted by every member of 41 regular course, the way you reported on this day 35 years ago. Those who left as cadets, their trees will be there. Those who left as young officers, it will be there. Those who died in the course of service or as cadets, there will be a remembrance tree in their memory. So on the date that you set for yourselves, seedlings will be purchased for every member of your course based on the type of tree you have passion for. For those of you who have passion for mango, you will come and plant mango tree. You know, they said by their fruits you shall know them. So those who come and plant mango, we will know them. So on a more serious note, you have the freedom to plant any tree that you like, so that in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 15 years' time, 20 years' time, you bring your children and grandchildren to come and show them a tree you planted on recognition of this day of the 35 years anniversary as members of 41 regular course. This project brought into the hands of the Nigerian Defence Academy. Earlier this year, we launched our Biodiversity and Conservation Center and the 1 million tree planting campaign. In the few years to come, the nature of the space of the place you see today will change drastically as we are going to regenerate the environment the way nature intended it to be. A lot of human activities have led to loss of plants, trees, vegetation, and some aspect of the biospace. We are going to restore them in a way that it will be an example to other establishments, not only in Nigeria but in Africa at large. Our ambition is that within the next 5 years, it will be the largest biodiversity and conservation space in northern Nigeria. Within the next 10 years, it will be the biggest in Nigeria, surpassing the Lekki Conservation Center, which is currently the biggest. And from 15 years and beyond, we are going to compete with places of its status in Africa. The biggest conservation area is currently in South Africa, and we are going to favorably compete with them. We are not just restoring plants, we are also restoring animals who have this place as home before human activities led to their depletion. So this garden you are seeing here today is going to expand rapidly, starting with the trees that you are going to plant and other trees as well. The cadets that are standing before you today have a lot to learn from 41 regular course. And they too on commission are going to ensure that they still relate back home to the Nigerian Defence Academy, our father's academy, and ensure that they continue to remember that this is the alma mater and this is where they started their journey in the armed forces. I'm talking about legacy projects. The first documented legacy project at the Nigerian Defence Academy was done by 37 regular corps. There's a squash court over there at the sports area, if you pass by, that is to their name, 37 regular corps. 38 corps did not, as at that time, you know, they are still thinking about the legacy project they are going to leave behind. They didn't, it was not an omission, you know. Like Napoleon Bonaparte said that why he succeeds in everything he does, that he gives everything he does a very long thought. So 13 regular corps has given the decision to establish a legacy project a very lengthy thought. Finally, they are going to execute that program this week, and I want to thank the chairman of the project, of the organizing committee of the 38 for being here to witness this, so that he'll go back and tell his classmates what happened. And when they are launching theirs this week, it will be an additional story that the Nigerian Defence Academy has to tell. 39 regular corps did theirs at exactly the same period of their anniversary, constructing a lab and equipping it. Then 40 corps came with a bang. When we finished ours, we thought that the long thought is an even costing. You know, but 40 corps disproved us that it's not an even costing, but an even cost can even do it better. So 40 regular corps constructed a language laboratory, including classrooms, offices. That's where Department of Languages is domiciled now. So 41 regular corps did this is a memorial garden. So you can call it legacy project, but I think there's nothing wrong, as we've discussed with the president. In future, you can actually put something on the ground, giving back to your alma mater. Some people say, ND has budget and it has enough resources to do what it needs to do. Why should we? Well, I'll tell you that Harvard University has an endowment of over $20 billion US. One of the biggest endowment in the world. $20 billion US. Not very few African countries' annual budget can meet, is up to that. But do people still give back to Harvard? The answer is yes. So it has that huge endowment, $20 billion there. And it has one of the highest and most competitive school fees in the world, which will cover the budget of most of the programs it handles. But people who do 6-week certificate course in Harvard give back to Harvard. So the decision to give back should not be based that the Nigerian Defence Academy has a budget line for most of its activities or has enough. No. It's that this is the institution that made you. There's no institution of its type where people come together as teenagers at the age of 17 and live all their lives until late adulthood. This is where it made you. So I think that every course should continue in that line. And there's never more than enough for an institution like the Nigerian Defence Academy. So I join those amongst you whose voice is erring on the side of let us put something on the ground in addition to the memorial gathering. On that note, I wish to once again welcome everybody who is here to witness this occasion. And as you go back, I wish you a very safe journey. And I wish for the first regular course the very best in all its anniversary programs. And if time permits, I'll be able to attend one or two of the functions there in Abuja. And now, as the Chief of Defense, representing the Chief of Defense Staff, my speech starts. The protocol has already been established, so I'll stand on that. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, fellow officers, men and women of the Nigerian Armed Forces, families of our fallen heroes, cadets, corpers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today we gather to pay tribute to our brave men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of our great nation. We remember those who have fallen in the line of duty, particularly those who lost their lives at sea and in air crashes. As we stand before this memorial, we are reminded of the words of General Douglas Otto, who said, and I quote, "The soldier, above all others, prays for peace. For it is the soldier who must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war." Unquote. Our fallen heroes were more than just soldiers. They were husbands, wives, fathers, mothers, brothers and sisters, and children. They were patriots who answered the call to serve, to protect, and to defend our nation's sovereignty. We honor their memory today and we reaffirm our commitment to never forget their sacrifices. As Nelson Mandela once said, "The greatest glory in living lies never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Our fallen heroes may have fallen, but their legacy lives on, inspiring us to continue the noble work they started. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the members of 41 Regular Course for this magnificent project, which serves as a testament to the bond that unites us as comrades at arms. Your efforts ensure that our fallen heroes are remembered and honored, and that their sacrifices are never forgotten. As we reflect on the sacrifice of our fallen heroes, we are once again reminded by the words of President John F. Kennedy of the United States. and I quote, "Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we will never, I repeat, will never surrender to the forces of adversity, nor shall we forget the sacrifices of our fallen heroes. We shall continue to stand vigilant, united, strong, defending our nation and upholding the values that our foreign heroes fought and died for. May their souls rest in peace, and may their legacy continue to inspire us to greatness. Thank you very much, and may God bless.
May we please once again appreciate the special guest of honor for those inspiring remarks. First, in his capacity as the Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, and second, as a suitable representative of the Chief of Defence Staff, General C.G. Musa. Before we proceed for the unveiling of the project, we are going to take some presentation of souvenirs. Thereafter, we take the vote of thanks here before we proceed for the unveiling of the legacy project. May I announce that shortly after the unveiling of the project, there will be lunch at the Officers' Mess and Golf Club of Nigerian Defence Academy. All invited guests and members for Towards Regular Course are requested to please attend. The special guest of honor, sir, next on the program is presentation of souvenir. The 41 regular course feels obliged to show their appreciation to the Chief of Defence Staff as well as service chiefs, including the Commandant Nigerian Defence Academy. May I request the board president to please make the course president to please make the following presentation. First to the Chief of Defence Staff, General C.G. Musa. Next presentation goes to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja, Nigerian Army Medal. The rep of the course, please. The Director of Military Training, Nigerian Defence Academy, will receive the souvenir on behalf of the Chief of Army Staff.
Let's move back. Thank you.
The next presentation goes to the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Iya Ogawa, the rep of the CNS. Sir, the next presentation goes to the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal H.B. Abubakar, the rep of the CAS. Our Deputy Commandant and Air Officer Commanding Designate is receiving on his behalf. Sorry, sir, he has taken over, sir, not designate, sir. Sorry, sir. Sir, the last presentation goes to our indefatigable Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, Major General Gio Ochai. Please put our hands together for our Commandant. Sir, may I request you remain standing as the Commandant will retaliate as Idi Amin says, sir. Sir, the Commandant at this moment will make a presentation of souvenir to the President of the course for 2 regular course.
Silver nor gold, have none. However, we want to present you with something that is equally valuable, something you keep in your study, and it will remind you of this day that you marked 35 years of coming together of 41 regular course. We hope that it will be very valuable to you, and it should be something that you keep for a very long time. Thank you for coming, and I wish you the very best.
May I request the journalists and photographers to clear
For the benefit of everybody, so see that.
Thank you very much, sir. With that presentation of souvenir, we are gradually drawing the curtains for the segment here before we move for the commissioning of the legacy projects. The special guest of honor, sir, 44 schools feels obliged to show their appreciation to the special guest of honor and all those that have made this event a success. May I therefore invite the secretary of the project committee in the person of Air Vice Marshal F.B. Philip to please move the vote of thanks. Shortly after the vote of thanks, we will all move to the project side for the official unveiling of the project. Air Vice Marshal Philip, sir.
The special guest of honor, General C.G. Musa, OFR, ably represented by Major General John Ochai, the Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy, representatives of the service chiefs, tri-service commandants here present, Oga Obidake representing 38 regular course, Oga Ochai representing 39 regular course, Oga Aneke representing 40th regular course, all other courses here present, Mommy Ochai, all our special ladies, the widows of our departed colleagues, every member of 41 regular course, and our beloved rubies, ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to stand on the already established protocol. It gives me great pleasure to move the vote of thanks at this auspicious occasion, marking our 35 years anniversary into the Nigerian Defence Academy. Our joy knows no bounds, as several of us are alive, but not just alive, but well. And we give God all the glory. Oga Ochai said that they protected us from 40th course in the academy. Interestingly, they are still protecting us up to now. And because they are protecting us, 39 course are the service chiefs, and of course all across the armed forces, 41 course is well accomplished. It is also instructive to say again, like my beloved president said, that exactly 41 of us have passed, and may their souls rest in peace, even as we pray for the comfort of their spouses left behind. We thank the special guest of honor for honoring our invitation, including members of courses here present, particularly Air Vice Marshal K.K. Obidake, that I've recognized before, plus other distinguished superiors and subordinates here present. We also thank the service chiefs who continue to elevate us, and the Commandant Nigerian Defence Academy for unequal support concerning our projects. Thank you, sir. We also thank everyone that has partnered with us in bringing today and the entire plans we have for our reunion to fruition. Thank you very much. Again, we thank our spouses and family for amazing support and nurturing us to excellence. Indeed, without you, we would not have achieved all that we have achieved. And at this point, I want all members of 41 regular course to stand to their feet, turn about, and salute our rubies. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Please be seated. Again, we must thank the Nigerian Defence Academy for hosting this event and for everyone who has been involved in the Legacy Park project. Finally, God bless us and safe journey to everyone who is traveling. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. With that, both of hands. This special guest of honor, sir, with your immunity, may I move a motion, support the motion, that we please give a standing ovation to the mother of the day, Mrs. Ochai, who is here in our midst. Please. Thank you very much, our mother of the day, Mrs. Ochai, mother of generals. So you may be seated, please. This special guest of honor, sir, with this, we now move straight to the project site for the unveiling. May I request the course president to please lead the special guest of honor and other dignitaries for the unveiling of the legacy project. The special guest of honor will be accompanied by all invited guests here. Thank you, sir. The special guest of honor, sir, senior officers, gentlemen, welcome to the unveiling ceremony of this legal project. May I request the special guest of honor to be supported by the course president and other dignitaries to please cut the ribbon and thereafter unveil the project. The special guest of honor, sir.
This legacy project initiated, designed, planned, and implemented by 41 regular course of the Nigerian Defence Academy to mark 35 years of service to the Nigerian Armed Forces and the Nigerian nation in general. Commissioned by me, General Christopher Gwabi Musa, Chief of Defense Staff, being represented by myself, Major General John Ochai, Commandant, Nigerian Defence Academy. This day, 17th of September 2024. To the service of God, to the service of man, and to the glory of God.
Thank you very much, sir.
Likewise manner, 41 regular course Legacy Park is hereby unveiled in commemoration of the 35th anniversary of 41 regular course to honor the sacrificial example of its members who paid the supreme price in the course of our shared journey, as well as continued service of the living members in diverse capacities on this ground of the institution where that journey begins. hereby reaffirming unwavering commitment to our shared fundamental ideals of loyalty and valor.
Commandant, sir.
Yeah.
Done by yes, by the quad.
Representative of the quad.
Okay, Adenka, please, will you do us the honor of auditioning it on behalf of the Chief Army Staff?
Okay, they're coming from you, sir.
Yes, as a matter of fact,
Yes, sir.
he will appreciate you later for representing him here.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. You heard the commandant. On behalf of our amiable Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, holder of the prestigious Nigerian Army Medal, it is my pleasure and honor to, on his behalf, commission today this monument by 41st Regular Corps, of which I am proud to be a member, on this day to the glory of God and to the service of mankind. I'm not used to doing things like this. Am I supposed to do this?
Yes.
Okay, welcome to the 41st Regular Corps Legacy Park. I read, this park is a hallowed ground dedicated to preserving the legacy of 41st Regular Corps of the Nigerian Defence Academy in our service to Nigeria and humanity. It stands as a testament to the patriotic passion, courageous dedication and sacrificial service of members of 41st Regular Corps. This park also honors the memory of our classmates who have fallen in the line of duty or otherwise succumbed to the cold hands of death. The 41st Regular Corps Park was conceived by members of the Corps to commemorate the 35th anniversary of our admission to the Academy. It is our token to celebrate the spirit of camaraderie amongst the living, honor the memories of the departed, inspire and foster the spirit of sacrificial service, while serving as a place of reflection, as well as historical arcade for cadets, other members of the NDA community, and visitors. This park is sited where a Nigerian Air Force aircraft, piloted by our brother, Air Commodore A.G. Ochai, a member of 41st Regular Corps, unfortunately crashed on the 24th of August 2017. A monument stands herein in honor of his final flight in the service of our nation. The park equally honors our first 11, the 11 cadets who paid the supreme price on the 23rd of July 1990 during a training accident at the Nigerian Naval College, Onne. The same boat, now refurbished and named NN-41 Regular Corps 11, which sank on that fateful day with 11 cadets, stands against the backdrop of the waterfall with their names crested on a marble tablet by the boat. A square marble monument lists the names of all members of 41st Regular Corps who paid the ultimate price subsequently in the course of service in various theaters and varying circumstances. There are also nominal roll plaques bearing the names of all members of 41st Regular Corps, chronicled in their respective battalions beneath the battalion flags. This legacy park is envisioned as an enduring tribute to the time, honored values on which cadet training and military service is based, summarized in the Academy's motto of loyalty and valor. Although a potent reminder of the stark reality of the perils of this noble profession of arms, which we choose, may the power of these examples inspire future generations to carry forward the torch of honor, duty, and sacrificial service. We pray that the families of the departed find peace, and may the memories of members of the 41st Regular Course always be a blessing. May God continually bless members of 41st Regular Course, the Nigerian Defence Academy, the Armed Forces of Nigeria, and our dear Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the representative of the Chief.
This is a guided tour of the facility.
Is my name, I'm not seeing my name in Mogadishu. I'm not seeing my name in Mogadishu. See the way they put that name.
Gentlemen, I like it.
Oh, sorry. The original. So this is the same one.
Once again, welcome to everybody. On behalf of the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bilal Abubakar, I, Air Vice Marshal Kelvin Aniki, consider it privilege to represent the Chief of the Air Staff to unveil this very all-important monument. As we have all been informed earlier, there is a strategic reason why this monument was established. Right in front of us are brief history on I call them six perfect gentlemen who lost their life in air-related incidents on official active duty. Each and every one of them are people I have interacted with and are my personal, and I mean personal, though I'm a member of 40th course, but everybody here, I have a personal relationship with them. And I consider it really an honor and privilege, and I want to thank members of 41st Regular Course for giving me the privilege and honor to unveil it on behalf of the Chief of the Air Staff. So permit me to unveil, and then I will read each of them so that we have an idea of the active role they played and the supreme sacrifice they played on behalf of our dear nation. So it's on this note, I would like, on behalf of the Chief of the Air Staff, unveil this monument with respect to perfect members of 41st Regular Course who paid the supreme price in air-related accidents and paid the supreme price for the benefit of our nation. So I unveil this monument for the great use of humanity and to the glory of God. Thank you. So I'll start with Air Commodore Adano Gabriel Ochai, a member of 41st Course, but one of the few members, pilots of 41st Course that we flew together. I remember on this particular day, while I was a pilot in the Presidential Air Fleet, the Chief of Defence Staff, or Chief of Air Staff then, not Abubakar, the late Air Chief Marshal Badi, wanted to pay a surprise call to an Air Force unit. I'm taking my time to explain my special relationship with him. He wanted to pay a surprise visit to a unit, and they came to the flight line. We both fly the same airplane. I'm a captain on the Donia 228. He is also a captain on Donia 228. And the Chief of Air Staff then did not want to tell even we, the pilots, the units we were going to until we were about taking off, because he wanted to surprise the units. And him being the MA then, had not flown for some time. So I had to take that flight with him as the captain. And being an instructor, these things come field. And I remember en route to Kano, we encountered some very bad weather, which he swiftly maneuvered. And I was joking joking with him. I said, "You're flying as if you've not even left the aircraft more than a day." I remember that very flight because that was the last flight I had with him as a captain on the airplane. So and he was very close to Air Vice Marshal Dosa. We were both instructors, and I had a special relationship with them. We always had one or two things to discuss. So I'll just read about him. Air Commodore Adanu Gabriel Ochai was an experienced transport pilot in the Nigerian Air Force. He was also an instructor pilot on the LBT-18 aircraft based in Nav Base, Kaduna. During a routine training flight on 24th August 2017, Adanu's aircraft crashed right on this spot we are standing in the Nigerian Defence Academy because he was trying to avoid the structures. That is something worth mentioning. In Kaduna premises, close to the commandant's office, he lost his life during this tragic accident. He survived by a wife and 3 daughters. May his soul rest in peace. Next is Group Captain Ubong Namso Akpan. Great UN Akpan, as it was usually called, was an experienced helicopter pilot in the Nigerian Air Force. As a combat pilot on a rescue mission in Yola, UN Akpan died on 13th November 2014 when his Mi-35P helicopter was involved in a crash. He survived by a wife and children. To tell you the special relationship I have with Akpan, he was supposed to be the godfather to my first son because he's very close to my wife. And but because he was deployed on operation, he had to permit my wife to give somebody that position. But I still look at him as the godfather to my first son. Then Lieutenant Colonel Jumbo Ochibo. I have a special relationship with him because we are all barrack boys. We grew up in the same base, and his house was directly behind my house. Right from when we were 2-3 years old, though a year or two older than me, but we were in the same base. Right from childhood. See, when we joined, I was just privileged to enter a year with him before him. Me, him, and Dosa all grew up in the same Air Force base in Nigeria, Air Force base Kaduna. So he's more like a brother, blood brother to me. Lieutenant Colonel Ochibo was involved in a Dana aircraft flight 0992 passenger crash from Abuja to Lagos on 3rd June 2012. The McDonnell Douglas MD-83 aircraft suffered a dual engine failure during its approach to Lagos. The senior officer is survived by his wife and 2 children. Yeah, official assignment, yes, your block official assignment. The Lieutenant Commander Femi Adekoya is a personal friend in the sense that on several occasions they flew into our bases, and on 1 or 2 occasions we also flew into their naval air station. They were one of the first pioneer people that flew the helicopter in the Navy. Lieutenant was type-rated on the Augusta A109 helicopter. On 20th April 2007, Lieutenant Commander Adekoya was the pilot in command of the NN Augusta A109 helicopter on a national assignment to convey 2007 general election materials from Warri to Owerri, but crashed at the fringes of the airport at Owerri. He survived by a wife and 3 daughters. Lieutenant Colonel Ali Yusuf is also a friend because of his relationship with one of our Air Force officers, ABM Gary. You know, sometimes he comes to visit him and we always consider them as brothers. So he was involved in the same crash with Ochibo. So Lieutenant Colonel Ali was involved in a Dana Air flight crash of 0992 passenger crash from Abuja to Lagos on 3rd June 2012. The McDonnell Douglas MD-82 aircraft suffered a dual engine failure during his approach to Lagos. The senior officer is survived by his wife and children. And lastly, is somebody we call the Brits for All. Like I said, I'm a member of 48 Corps, but some of my closest friends are members, unusually, I use the word unusually, are members of 41st Corps. Just the way you and I had a special relationship with my wife, Skoro was also personally close to my wife, because when I was dating my wife and I was about to marry her,
those are one of the few people that she met. So his crash came as a big loss. The mic, very important story. Where is the second mic? I think it's off. Okay.
So like I said, when I was dating my wife, one of the first few efforts, because we're all in flying school, that she met was Skoro. So she had a personal, close relationship with him. So his death also came as a big loss to me and my family as a whole. I had special relationship because we're efforts officers, Skoro, Gabriel, and Akpan, that we all flew together. So Skoro was fondly called, as he was fondly called, a great aviator and loved flying. He was a fighter pilot rated on the Alpha jet. He was a great warrior with daring exploit in the northeast Nigeria, and this was attested by even army counterparts. Primus aircraft crashed on the mission in the northeast on 12 September 2014 alongside the fellow pilot, Idima. He is survived by a wife and 2 children. So I want to thank 41st Corps once again for giving me this privilege to honor this fine gentleman. Thank you, sir.
In unveiling this boat is symbolic for 3 reasons. First of all, for the lives of the first 11, our classmates that died in this boat, and also remember their families who might be watching, just to let them know that their memories are not forgotten. Secondly, the boat is symbolic because though it happened 34 years ago, many of those who survived in this boat are physically here. And I count it a privilege because I was the last person that came out from the boat, and 34 years later, I'm coming to unveil on behalf of the Chief of the Naval Staff. It's just the mercy of God. The last reason I consider it symbolic is because the cadets are also watching. And our prayer is that never again will such an occurrence happen in the history of the Nigerian Defence Academy, where we'll lose such amount of cadets in one go. And on that note, on behalf of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, Admiralty Medal, who would have loved to be here himself, if not for service exigencies, I would like this day to unveil the boat, which has been refurbished to the glory of God, to the service of humanity, and as a memory in the Nigerian Defence Academy. So in reading the few words here, in memory of the 41st Regular Corps, First 11, fallen but not forgotten. On Monday, 23rd July 1990, a tragedy befell our nation at the Nigerian Naval College, Onne, Rivers State. 23 NDA first year naval cadets of 41st Regular Corps were having boat handling practicals when the boat rammed into a stationary jetty and sank in the sight of other classmates in another boat midstream. These 11 out of the 23 cadets lost their lives. May I say, including the instructor also died in that boat, in the line of duty, while training to serve their fatherland with courage, while others survived to carry on with their shared mission. This incident brought home the reality of the risk inherent in the choice of career we have made, not just to 41st Regular Corps, but the entire body of cadets. A prelude to the sacrifices that will be required of us, all in the years ahead. May their example continue to inspire generations of officer cadets to excellent careers at sea, in defense of our country and humanity. This tablet stands as a tribute to their sacrifice a reminder of the perilous nature of cadet training and a symbol of our eternal gratitude for their example. Permit me also to mention the names of these courageous heroes, starting from Abyssinia Battalion. First is NDA 4498, Cadet OC Mwadiashi. Secondly, Abyssinia Battalion, NDA 4515, Cadet AD Usman. Thirdly, NDA 4522, Cadet CO Craig.